Hey, in about 45 minutes, officially in this, you know, time space will be officially my birthday. And I was just thinking to myself, the usual excitement. And I thought, you know what? This one represents rebirth. And it's pretty exciting because for the past 2 years, I've had nothing short of an awakening series of experiences that has been exhilarating and scary, and it's it just imagine aligning yourself, aligning your spine one after the other. Some of them hurt a little bit, some might tickle, you know but everything slowly come together. And this birthday is for me, I don't usually celebrate like a big thing, but this one I'm celebrating it spiritually, like so deep, because it means a lot. It means remembering self. It means remembering my journey. It means my divine connection to the all, to everything. And all of it sparked from a near-death experience I had some time ago. And it's been wild. It's been like going on a treasure hunt. I wake up every day now excited, like what's next, what's the next treasure hunt, what's the next thing to find, the next thing to become aware of. It's been that. And the reason why I am doing this, because for the person who needs to hear this, whoever you are, my little diamond in the rough, you're going to be okay, despite what everyone else calls the struggles and the depressive state. They're just challenges that you're going to go through. And soon enough, you're going to look back at it and look at the synchronicities that happened and realize, wow, I needed that experience to now be where I am now. Living a life with no regrets and understanding that everything that happened, no matter how low you believe it took you, or how high or how hard the road was, that it was all for a purpose. It was all leading you up to something. It was all compacted, because there's always a plan. I always look at my life now as well scripted. God's got this ingenious way that all our lives already, the script has already been issued. We already have it, but we have the free will to change it. Now, the destination doesn't change. The course will change according to the decisions we make, whether we listen to our guides, or we follow suit, or we, stumble or become stagnant in fear or not. Because the choice is yours, how you want to go about this life journey, but it is your life journey. And I'm saying this to the person who keeps time traveling in their brain to that one instance of hurt. You're still going back to where hurt lives. You're still going back to where shame lives. You're still going back to where depression was, where suicide was. You keep time traveling. We watch these movies and we enjoy watching them, and we love the suspense and all that stuff, and we don't resonate it back to our lives and realize, I am also producing this grand movie of time travel, and I keep going back in my mind, and you are what you think, which means your physical body is here, but you're time traveling somewhere else where hurt lives, where it holds you back and you're stagnant here and cannot move forward. I encourage you to start living in your now, and whatever experience you have right now, to experience it to the fullest. And stop going back in the mind. It's so busy with everything that you watch and hear and see, and with everything that people say to you. And I urge you to find some way to quiet the mind so you can tap into self, because that's where all the answers really are. It's not necessarily in all books and in stuff that you watch. They do direct you, but until you tap into self, where the soul lives, that's never separate from you, most times you don't fully understand your connection to the all and all. You know what I mean? And somebody wrote me an email, and I think this is a good time to talk about it. And they were confused about, frequency, and what do you mean by, no longer resonating with stuff. And I was playing around with Alexa today, and I thought to myself, "Oh, this is really cool. I can explain it with this scenario." So, as you expand your awareness of consciousness, and most of us are now, not everyone wants to explore it, and that's okay. But for those of us who do, and probably you're misunderstood at first because everything that's been taught, you're now kind of teaching yourself. You're unlearning these things to now peel away the onion, of the things that don't resonate with you, and now replacing self with these things that really make you feel whole, and that makes you feel peaceful, and that takes away the fear and the judgment that you had before. So I was playing around with Alexa, and I thought to myself, ooh, frequency. So the easiest way to explain it now to somebody who's not experienced it. For example, you used to love to listen to a station, let's say, for, 105.5. And you always tune in. Now, when you tune to 105.5, sometimes you can get it a little bit clearer, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but never far apart. It always has to be right there at that particular frequency to hear that station, to resonate with what it says and to enjoy it. As you become aware consciously, what is played here no longer resonates with you. You can't compute it, and you start to tune. If you understand, you tune a little more, you realize, ooh, 109.9, I can hear this. It is crystal clear. It resonates with me, gives me peace in the heart. I feel self-love. Oh my gosh, I just realized that didn't resonate with me. It made me feel so low. I feel love for self. And you find that now you're tuning into 109.9, and this is where love is. Do you understand? And the same person who's probably in the house with you, your family, your lover, whatever it is, they're still at 105.5. And it's okay for them to be there, because you're on your own journey, they're on theirs. Now, you're going to say things and do things that they down here won't resonate with, because they're not tuned into the same channel. They're not hearing the same messages. They're not getting the same downloads. It's a completely different frequency you're on. Do you understand? And it's okay, because you never want to lower your energy all the way back down to here, your frequency. Because when you come here, you were here before, you will hear it, but it just won't click. It won't connect. You're going to feel disabled because it no longer resonates with you. You're going to feel out of place. You can always stay here and have no judgment for the person who's here, and hopefully they won't have judgment for you. But even if they do, it's their choice. Understand that everyone is on their own path, and they're becoming aware on their own time, because according to the spiritual realm, time does not exist. I hope that clears it up for the person who asked me that. Now, because I'm celebrating what I call my rebirth, I had a near-death experience some time ago, like I said, and oh gosh, I'm going to have to spend time to speak about this, but I'm actually starting the conversation, which is good. Because when it just happened to me, my guides helped me to write my first book on spirituality. And converting the information was a little bit tricky at first. I got it done, and the first attempt I think was okay. But I put it on the back burner. I've written this book, and I'm a marketing specialist, and I have not marketed my book at all. So because it's my birthday tonight, like, the voice said to me, the book, read the book. And I started to read the book, just the first chapter, because I haven't read it since I wrote it. That was a beautiful experience, writing the book with my guides. But now that I'm reading it back, it dawned on me, I really shouldn't keep this information to myself. People need to have more knowledge because it's out there. But the more you put out, the more it's going to resonate with one extra person and another extra person. And it's only fair for a person seeking information to get it. So I decided for my rebirth that I'm going to go through my book. Every other evening, probably, I'm going to read a couple chapters and just make it fun. And while I'm reading it, I realize now that I'm remembering how I felt at particular moments when I was doing the book, or when I was getting downloads from my guides to translate the words to the books, because I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, not yet, but you're getting the message in because it's just coming in, and then you have to translate it. Now that I'm reading it back, I was like, whoa, this is really powerful stuff, because I never thought this way before that near-death experience that I had, before my opening of my awareness to the all, to realize that, ooh, I am energy, and I'm connected to everything. And then when I asked certain questions, they actually allowed me to feel it. You know what I mean? So before I bore the daylights out of you, it's just, I wanted to resonate with somebody so you can understand, if you're going through this, it's going to be okay. And it's one thing that my guides always said to me, I am that I am. And they always said life is simple. And I always get annoyed, like, what do you mean life is simple? It's not. It's complicated. There's war going all over the places. All these things, there's all these atrocities, all these things that happen to me, happen to other people that I know, and they just can't get over it. And it always comes back to the same thing, but life is simple. Everything that happens for a reason. And if you can't change it, show compassion, be empathic towards these situations, but your path must continue. Just be the light, be the love. It took me forever to figure what the heck you're talking about, be the light, be the love. What's being the light, be the love? I'm a person. Until I started to feel and embody energy and really feel divine, how should I say it? Love without attachments. So it's not I love you because you can provide a particular thing, a particular service. It's just I love you unconditionally. And that love is a complete different thing. It's I love you with no judgment. I love you with no shame, nothing attached, no matter what you do. That's an infinite type of thing. And that's what we all are. Although most of us don't think that we are, but it really is simple. So I'm going to start chapter 1, and I'm just going to go until I feel like somebody probably got a message from this tonight, and then I'll do more, and I'll do more, and we'll have conversations about this rebirth, which is just tingling, okay? So, name of my book is My Journey. After I published it, one of my guys said it was supposed to be Remembering My Journey. I took the remember out, and I have my journey. But anyway, chapter 1. Who are we really? Are we spiritual beings? Are we infinite? Are we whom we were created to be? Are you attracting fear or love? And it says, affirm this thought. I am a great being. I am a great person. I am a great warrior of this land called Earth. My power lies in my heart. My power lies in my words. My power lies in my deeds. I am greatness, just as I was created. I was created in this physical time space, same as you, the reader of this book, to be God's angel, to bring the news of the greatness that resides within each person. I am on a journey of life, a journey of finding my true purpose. Until recently, I lived as taught, until the day I almost experienced full transition. A day I will never forget in this physical time. A day unplanned, unaware, and not known to me could have been my last day on this earth. On this day, I was at my sister's house. Everyone had left for work, and it was just like any other day. I was taking a shower with every thought my mind could consume. Everything going wrong, everything going well, everything to fix, everything to ignore. With no warning, I felt a tickle in my throat. I gasped, and in the next breath, there was none. I could not breathe. I was unable to breathe or help myself. Little did I know that God had already conceived a plan. After what I call a series of unfortunate events, I was aligned with God's assigned angels to me. This is my guides. This energy source was there to guide me spiritually to where I am now writing this beautiful message. Lily, my guardian angel, as most will call this energy source, has been my source of ultimate awareness of how simple what life was meant to be. Prior to this day, I have never experienced inner body experiences. Some will call it visions or direct messages from spiritual guides. Like everyone else, I have made mistakes in this life. I have been unfair in my thoughts. I have been angry. I have harbored doubts and questioned my own abilities. I have many experiences without any consideration of the intent and effects of the thoughts I attracted. I have also embraced joy, happiness, and love. The path I now venture expose my shortcomings before of living more fearful than dominantly creating my own desired life. How many of you are doing this thing right now? The funny thing about it, even when that day came that I almost transitioned, meaning I almost died, I was still not ready. Consider this thought. At this moment, whether you are good of heart or negative in thoughts, if today is your last day in this physical time space called Earth, are you ready? Imagine thinking the last thought, whoa, they will come home and find me naked on the floor, because that's what I was. I had to rush out of the bathroom. I collapsed on the floor. And the thought of this physical brain just went right there. They're going to see me naked when they come home dead on the floor. And that's just before everything just happened. That was my immediate thought, and I felt myself slipping away. Just that. Imagine what your last thought would be if you had a few seconds before transitioning. Or, does it even matter? What will it say of you? As you read this book, understand all that matters is your words, thoughts, and deeds. Most of us live and do not identify that God has his hands on them. We fail to identify the blessings that are already around us and live in a doubtful, regretful aura. It was not until I had my first encounter with Lily, that's my guide, that I confirmed what I should have known with no resistance, that God had his hands on me. And the thoughts consumed from that near-death experience helped me process the clips of a life once lived and a purpose to fulfill now. I am filled with gratitude to know so much more can be done to make life on earth better and better as the generations pass. So this is my encounter. I was immediately drawn to quiet my mind, as if I wanted to see the beautiful colors that flash through your eyes after passing the darkness. Now let me tell you something about the colors. I did not paint on a canvas before my near-death experience. And since I had the opportunity to come back, I don't know how it started. I don't know how I even thought about doing art, like on canvas. But from the day I decided to do that, I've been trying to recreate the colors. I can't. The colors don't exist here in this world. In this universe, the colors are magnificent. They're heightened. I don't know how to explain it, but that was where I was led. The beautiful colors and the flash through your eyes after passing the darkness. Meditation for me somehow gave me great pleasure, and that's what she taught me to do. I have to say she, because after speaking, after a while, I kept saying, "What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?" And then I think she just gave me a name to call her, because I don't think guides really go by names that much. Anyway, meditation somehow gave me great pleasure, and because of having no fear after my near-death experience, I no longer had fear of death. That's what it means, because when it happened, in that moment, I had no pain. I had no fear. As soon as I had that thought that they're going to see me naked on the floor, I slipped away from that thought, and it was just like going through a door, and it was just love, and everything was just stripped away from you. All the thoughts, all the worries, everything. It was no fear, and you realize to yourself, wow, this is just like going through a door. It really is. Well, that was my experience. So I connected for the first time with my spiritual guide. I experienced a floating sensation that immediately quieted every thought that flowed through my being, and I felt at ease for the first time. For the first time, I knew I was not just I was an energy source who somehow was now able to connect with other energy sources. The first few encounters were what I call off, because obviously I would feel a little bit scared, because this is nothing that I knew even existed or could happen. I did not know how to interpret or relax in the full experience of the energy sources flowing through me. I started to document my experiences with the journey. So far, it's just segments of a beautiful journey and a treasure hunt of joyful emotions and love. Thoughts flowed, and I would immediately have the answer to a question thought within my subconscious, but not spoken. It was like, it was just a knowing. I just knew. I would ask a question within, and the answer was there, and it was just a knowing that that's not from me. At first, yes, it was a new experience, and I had no idea of my intent on this newness. I was, however, just curious enough and grateful to be alive, and I wanted more knowledge of the exhilarating emotions that now flowed through my being. So each morning I meditated, at first for 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, and each thought I would have during this period carried throughout the day. Each positive vibration attracted more positive vibrations, and it felt good knowing that I, for the first time, could control the outcome of my day, in a sense, by what I created in my own mind. The out-of-body experience may only be understood by many others who have had similar experiences with connecting with their spiritual guides. And after a few weeks, my guide disclosed a name I can address its energy source as Lily. My limbs would spontaneously move when I was in complete alignment with my guide, slowly moving in a way I was aware was not me doing it. And the act was a physical act. You imagine, just you're not doing it, you're not even thinking about it, and it's happening. And the thoughts were present in my mind, and I have never conceived on my own. And the knowledge of my life that flowed within was not only in my thoughts, it was a knowing. Days turned into weeks, and here I am at my happiest. I have controlled my thoughts, and hence my environment complemented the same. I now can have a conversation with intent, and instead of absorbing the negative and feeling stressed after, I now have the words of comfort and detain the negative emotions that usually follow. One morning during meditation, my focused thought was a question. I was playing songs on my phone, and it was somehow switched to Oprah's interview with Abraham Hicks. Before this, I never knew about this person. I never knew about this phenomena because I'm Jamaican, and I've never sought this information. I never knew, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as anyone in my community would be concerned, this is woo-woo stuff. So I never seek this information. And when I came across this interview, I was about to change it because obviously, woo-woo stuff. And I felt a warm emotion take over me and a nod. And I know, weird, right? But over time, I had gotten used to my guide directing me to what to do. So these involuntary movements, I would know, okay, pay attention now. You know what I mean? This literally gave me a feeling of like so much love. So I know when her energy is with me, and then the nod. So I started to watch it, and I was overwhelmed. Like, oh, I'm not the only one who goes through this stuff. Just really, and I started to feed on information. I now know about living and living abundantly from so many sources that are freely available. The source of the mind and the connection of your inner guide. I am a living testimony of being a source of information after such an experience. Life is a simple equation, nothing to be solved, but to be enjoyed to the fullest. We are here to be beings of purpose. We are here to be beings of love. We are here to be beings of life and eternal happiness. Living your best life and your heart's desire. The laws of attraction guided me to how to connect with my inner source. Meditation is one method to open what you can call a portal, or in or your inner source. Some call it the vortex. I could not believe that life was so simple. From the warm feeling of the sun upon my body and feeling it go right through every cell. Yes, this happened for the first time on April 29th, 2022. I even remember the date. I was in meditation and I had a thought of, who am I? I had this question. And right after the thought, I felt the urge to go where the sun was upon my body, and I held my hand out and I saw my body light up. I'm feeling the emotion of it. I didn't remember this happened. Literally, literally, I visualized my body light up. It was as if I became one with the sun. As if the energy flowed within. The message was, I am also energy. I am also an energy source that attracts another similar energy. I am that I am. I kept hearing this. I am that I am. Ooh, that gives me goosebumps. I didn't remember about that happening. It was the most exhilarating feeling I have ever felt. Then it was gone. Everything started to make sense. Every living thing was special in its own way and a very vital connection in this universe. I have a series of out-of-body segments, and for the first time in 41 years, I felt all the worries of the land and experienced the simplicity of life as God created it to be, a life without resistance. Why? I was open to God and felt all things within the universe move throughout me. I understood that I am a part of the universe just like the birds, the trees, the sun, all. I was just as spiritual as each mankind. I also had a divine purpose as every other mankind who also have a purpose and fulfilled right here on earth. As a child of God, a spiritual being in a beautiful physical body and non-resistant to all things great, I now know the power of my words, thoughts, and deeds. I now know of my power of life to save joy and happiness with everyone I meet. My life transformed from being controlled to taking control of me. I am that I am. In this world, we are responsible to keep things in order with one emotion, love. We are responsible to help each other. We are of God and of the universe. In this life, it is infinite to the mind and timeless. A year to mankind is 10,000 years to God. That was my interpretation. And I remember they corrected me and say, life as we know it is infinite. I remember that. It is a blessing to be guided by a source greater than you. Know that your path is aligned with the light of this world. We're here to guide you to infinite greatness. We're here to guide you to eternal grace. We're here to guide you to the purpose of living your heart's desire. We're here to direct you to the laws of the universe. Here goes. If you had a penny and were told you could turn the penny to become $1 million, would you believe it and try to see it manifest? Or would you laugh at the thought? Laws of attraction are similar with greater meaning. Laws are an emotion of positive vibrations. It is an emotion of well-being and complete belief in God and self. Law of attraction is a method used for centuries by all sources of God to survive the laws of the land. Laws of the land teach obedience to mankind, but laws of attraction teach obedience to God and your own ability to believe in a thought created within your own mind. Laws of attraction is the only source to get you what your hearts desire. Laws of attraction deliver to you a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, and a life of greatness. I remember my interpretation of this was it's repetitive because you're getting the downloads and you're trying to compute it in English. It was not easy. It's 30 minutes now, but I'll try to do Lily Speaks. This is directly from my guide Lily. And I did this because it was a combination of guides who did this, who brought the messages through, and they wanted me to do it where she would say something and then Asha would say something, and all the guys had something to say. So Lily Speaks. It is great to visit with you all today. I am Lily. I am a guardian angel brought to you on earth to give life of purpose and prosperity. I am assigned to Nikki because God has his hands on her and wishes her prosperity in this time, space, reality. She has made mistakes like many others, and she has died for a second to be brought back to this life to fulfill her purpose. You may ask, why her? She asked and believed. She has all her life said to God that she wants to help others. So when her time came, God decided to let her live her heart's desire. Many of you are asking and not seeing results. The reason is that you believe not in what you ask. Laws of attraction works only when you have a desire. Ask and leave it to God to manifest. Manifestation comes when your mind leaves all its worries and doubts to the universe to deliver. Receivership occurs only when you let it go and live your desire in your mind's eye. This is Nikki's phrase, and we so like it. She says, I live my life in my mind's eye. This means she believes that her thoughts are already manifesting, so she sees it happening in her eyes. She can feel herself living that life even before it happens. Then and only then do you receive blessing from the universe. Then and only then do you receive manifestations of your mind. Life is so simple. Yet most of the world does not know of it. It is a great reward to be blessed with thought, to see it manifest before your eyes. We must understand the law of the universe is for everyone. You must know that no one being is special than the other. A child born with a disease has just as much purpose as a child born healthy. Different purpose, yes, but just as great. Some beings are only meant to come within this time-space reality for what seems to you as a short time, but in the spiritual world for a lifetime for that child. That is not as man sees it. No matter how it happens, this is just a transition from human form to spiritual. The spiritual being has the power to come into a physical being at any time. But this can only happen when approved. When chosen, it's their choice. Some beings will be here on earth to just change one person, to touch one soul, to change one life. But to us, it was their entire lifetime and they move on to other tasks. So be ye not worried about death, as death comes of physical beings point or another, but your physical self lives on forever. Nikki will say, life is infinite. We so like that because she's accurate. Life is infinite in 360, as she says, because it never stops. It is revolving. You will always have bills to pay. You will always have food to buy. You will always have sickness around you. You will always be aware of time because life on earth has time, but life as a spiritual being has none. We implore you to understand that you all have a purpose, whether it is to be the best salesman, the best teacher, the best astronaut, the best you. Only you control your own path. Only you can allow yourself to believe. Believe that your words are powerful and your heart is. And time is not your master, but you are the master of time. Let this be your first lesson. Be ye aware that the power within, the power around, and the life God has planned for you is within, waiting to be let go, to live. This is the end of chapter 1, my journey. And reading it now for the first time since I've done it, it's pretty cool. It's taking me back to those memories. Well, welcome to my rebirth. I'm happy that you are part of this experience with me. It's going to be a pretty cool, smooth experience going through. We'll probably do a sip of the divine every week or so, and we can speak about the concepts of your consciousness awakening. In a sense, we can speak about questions that you have about guides, connection to guides, whatever it is. It is my rebirth. I'm celebrating it. And I want you to know this today. You're never alone, even if you feel like it. If you can quiet your mind enough, you can feel the energy of all your guides and all your ancestors. They're always with you, and all you need to do is just speak it, just ask it, just say it, just command it, just intend for it. Because you really are never alone, even if you feel like it. And if you do feel like it, you're never separate from God either. And if I should pour a glass of water, and that is your concept of you being the water, but you're never separate from God, because God flows within you always. In every breath, there is God. That is my interpretation of it. So I take very important care in my breath, especially because my near-death experience was taking the breath away. When I got that pin, I visualized like a pinhole in the darkness, like a pinhole of light opening up, so you can see like a pinhole of light in the darkness, and then it just slowly opened up, and that's where the breath came from. And it felt so good, and I have now this connection with my breath that is so divine, and my awareness that with every breath there is God, which means I am never separate from God, from Allah, from all in all, from source, whatever you want to call this great energy of all. You're never separate. You're always within. And if you ever feel separated, it's because of a decision you made or something that you're venturing on that your soul really isn't comfortable with. Check yourself. Don't worry, it really is going to be okay. And whatever decisions you have to make for your birthday, for your birth month, for the next year, if you have a decision to make and you feel agitated and you feel disconnected and you feel fear, especially fear, it's not a decision for you. And if you have a decision to make and you feel calmness and you feel it from your heart and you feel peaceful, your soul is telling you this is the way to go. And this is my last message to you. Just be you. Do not worry about what anyone else thinks or perceives about you, because what they think about you does not define you. That is their perception, and how they feel about is their business. Your business is embodying, defying you, and being able to have an awareness of your connection with everything. Okay? Happy birthday to everyone celebrating a birthday. Happy rebirth to me. And I wish you all the best. Have a colorful, beautiful life. Namaste.